Okay, so hello and welcome to the Property Investors Awards nominee webinar 2024. My name is Cyril Thomas, the founder of the Property Investors Awards, and you are currently also joined by my co-host, Michelle Carnes from Your Property Network. We also have a number of special guests who will be joining, and also our winners from previous year's awards that are in the room with us today. Again, just to let you know, because a few more people are pouring in, this is a recorded call, so be mindful of that. It's been a busy year. Fantastic to see so many of you online today. I know that you are all hard at work at your applications, and I can see that already some of these applications are looking very inspiring. So I'd say congratulations for getting this far in regards to the nomination stage. We're very grateful for you taking the time off to be here with us today. We know you're all very busy people, and we hope that we can provide some value for you today. Just so you know, I am just letting people in as we continue this discussion. We hope that this will be quite an informative webinar for you. It should help you with your applications, add a lot of value in regards to what to expect and what tips you may be able to receive from the winners in regards to their ideas as to how and why they produced award-winning applications. So I need to get this right. So it looks like in the room with us today, we have a number of the winners, including Emma Fielding. Emma, do you want to give a wave? We've got Manny Chopra, if she's in yet. We should have Walter Pontes, and we should have Sam Carter. You can see Sam there. Excellent. In addition to that, we have two of our renowned judges, Michelle Carnes, who should have a similar background to me. Michelle, do you want to give them a wave?
Hey guys, good to see you all.
Michelle's also from the Your Property Network magazine, so she's wearing two hats today. We'll touch more on that soon. And Richard Bowser should be dropping in at some point. Now I can see that Richard Bowser's AI is in the room. So I'm assuming that he's somewhere to be found as well. Richard, if you can hear me, say hi. If you can't, hello to your AI, and I'm sure you will see your face at some point real soon. Okay, to start this off, what we're going to do is, for those of you who haven't yet seen some footage from the Property Investors Award, we're going to watch a short 2-minute video. So I think this pretty much gives you a very good understanding as to what the awards are about and what to expect on the night. A number of you may have seen this video already. Okay, so this presentation has been prepared by our lovely team, Shauna from the marketing department and Sophie, who is our operations manager. Sophie is actually on holiday at the moment, so I'm sure she'll be watching this and making sure that I did not forget to say anything at some point in the near future. And it looks like the itinerary, as you can see here, today we are going to introduce the awards to you. A lot of you know what the awards is about, and a number of you have attended the awards already. We are going to give an overview of the nominations process and talk about the key criteria. We're going to speak about the opportunities that the awards provide you, and there are a lot of opportunities linked to the awards. We're going to also talk to you about the speaking platforms that you will be entitled to take part in if you do go on to become winners and sometimes even finalists. And a few of the exclusive opportunities. You will get insights from our judges. They will talk to you about what they expect to see from an award-winning application and potentially how you can improve your existing applications. And then we'll go into a Q&A session for anybody who's got any questions. If you do have any questions, do put them into the chat as we go along. I can see we've got a few questions. I am trying to moderate and speak at the same time. So yes, I will be picking up on the questions that are being put in the chat as we go along. And I can see now, Michelle, that's your AI, isn't it?
It's not mine, no.
Okay, it's somebody's AI. Okay, so moving on. The Property Investors Awards. So we are the largest independent award ceremony in the UK. I would say show of hands for those of you who have attended an award ceremony in the past, but I can't see everybody on the screen right now. I mentioned that we've got Michelle Carnes and Richard Bowser. Richard Bowser should be showing up shortly if he's not in here already. You've now seen the video too. Can I just get a show of hands for those on screen who've actually attended the awards previously? Excellent. So since the 2023 awards, we have been able to increase our categories to 22 categories. As you can see, we now have 60 judges. I believe in 2023, we had about 30 judges. We are increasing the attendees this year from 600 last year to 1,000 this year. And that goes with the also change of venue, which we'll talk about soon. And we're also increasing, which is most important for all of you, the brand exposure and marketing opportunities for our winners and finalists. And I think it's a huge thing really, because those winners that are in the room right now will understand how life-changing these awards can be. But we are putting a lot of effort and resource into ensuring that those opportunities only increase as we expand the awards and as it becomes more prominent in the industry. Okay, so for those of you who don't already know, we are moving the award ceremony into what I would say is the most prestigious venue in London. That is the Grosvenor House Hotel, and that hotel has also been used, I believe, for the BAFTAs, Royal Family events. Sorry?
That's HB. HB just needs to mute.
Michelle, how do you catch them so fast?
So, yeah, I've got the participants up on the screen. There we go. Thank you.
Fantastic.
It's
okay, excellent. Thank you. Thank you. So we will be moving to this venue this year. It provides us for a lot of opportunity. There's a lot more space. It just also means that you are going to be put on a platform on that night. If you do go on to become a finalist and winner, the platform that you are going to be given is going to be absolutely enormous. We will have a number of media bodies in the room on that night too. So it will be published across a number of media outlets, including Your Property Network and Property Investors News. So the reason why you're all here, the 2024 nominations. Can I get a show of hands as to who started their applications? Greg, your hand did not go up and you admitted it on camera. You know, the advice I'd give you is that the earlier you start, it's not the earlier you finish. Yes, you do finish early, but it also gives you time to reflect and adjust and add to. And I think that makes all the difference, because if you do leave it to the last minute and you've only got maybe 48 hours or even a week to do it, you tend to be a bit rushed. Whereas if you can take time to put the necessary thought into your applications, and also have time to ask the questions where needed, i.e. contacting our team or reaching out to even maybe previous winners, it does give you that edge. 31st of August is the deadline, and it is fast approaching, so it does really creep up on you. Please do start the nominations early, and that just gives us the time that's needed sometimes to make adjustments and to assist you where necessary. So with any award ceremony, there are a number of things that you could benefit from. And as you can see on the screen right now, you've got branding, wider PR, becoming more credible to investors, etc. All of these things go alongside winning any award ceremony. But with the Property Investors Awards, I think the reason why the industry really embraces winners of our awards is because the judging process is very transparent, and we have many of the industry leaders involved in that process. So I believe it's accepted as the industry awards. You can't buy your way into the awards. You can't buy a seat at the table. You can't purchase five tables at our awards ceremony and expect to be a winner. That doesn't happen. So for those of you who were there last year, who was there? Emma, you were obviously there last year. Toby Spanier, you were there last year. And you can see that on the night, nobody knew who was going to win. And you could just tell by the reactions, you know. Emma, I loved the reaction of your partner. He was standing right beside her when he jumped into the
He
air.
was, yeah, he was like, oh my God.
That's right. And then, you know, there was a winner who walked away with 4 trophies in the night, and I had not really heard of his name before that night. So yeah, I would say to win an award, a trophy at our award ceremony is a big deal. As soon as you win, you've got people throughout the industry just wanting to interview you, wanting to invite you to their events. You become basically the next speaking circuit for the industry. And I know Emma, Toby, Sam, you'll be able to give us a bit more information about that in due course. So for those of you who don't know, these are the categories spelled out. You can also see these categories on our website. We'll probably send out the link again if you haven't already got the link to the nominations. But my understanding is that everybody on this call has already received nominations and are in the process of starting or filling in their applications. We have included a number of new categories this year. So we've got like Sustainable Property Developer of the Year. We've got some social housing categories because we know it's a growing area of the property investment industry. So I would say that these new categories, if you are participating in some of the more well-known categories like the HMO categories or the developer categories, if you think your deal also fits into sustainability or social housing, I would urge you to put in an application there too, because you may just find that because they're new categories, it may also increase your chances of winning in those categories. So the judging process explained. Now, we try to keep the judging process as simple as possible, very transparent. So Voltaire's just entering the chat. We try to keep it as simple as possible and very transparent. We have many judges, 60 plus judges as it stands right now. Now, we don't allow for virtual judging, virtual scoring. We expect our judges to come to a location in central London each year, and there are 2 judging days. So they will come on one of the 2 judging days. Actually, some judges do attend both days because they see it also as a great opportunity to network with the other judges, etc. And on those days, very intense. We go through all of the applications, and all of the judges judge all of the applications that they are overviewing or overseeing on their particular judging day. So you don't just get one judge judging a whole category. You might have, if 60 judges attend on a certain day, 60 judges will be judging your application, and every judge has 1 vote on your application. So just to note, from some organizations, we may have 2 judges from the same organizations. Sometimes we have 3 judges from the same organization. So for example, Shawbrook Bank, we may have 3 different people from the same bank on judging your application. We don't allow them to have any more weighting on your application. What we do is we take the average of all three scorecards, and they end up having just one. Bear with me, we've got a few more people jumping in here. They end up having just one vote on your actual application. So even though you may have several people from the same organization submitting scores, their score will amount to 1 vote on your application, meaning that no one organization can have any more influence over your application than any other individual in the room. Does that make sense? Excellent. So what happens is all nominees should have completed their applications by the 31st of August. All judges are invited to attend a venue where the judging days takes place. In the past, we've had the judging days at number 1 London Bridge overseeing the river, and we've also had it at Shawbrook's head office. The location for this year's judging days will be revealed in due course. The judging days this year are being held on the 12th and the 13th of September. So the reason why I'm telling you the actual date is because it would be prudent to try and make yourself available via the phone on those dates, because once in a while the judges may not quite understand something on the application and may decide to actually call you. Now, this can make a big difference, because if you've put something on your application and the judges don't quite understand, but they see your application has potential, just want you to clarify something, if they call you and they don't get through to you, they can only go by the information which they see in front of them, nothing more. So it makes sense to try and just make yourself available by the phone on the 12th and 13th of September. So every judge has their own judges portal, and using their judges online portal, on the day they submit all of their scores, and their scores are ranked 1 to 10. We are actually toying with the idea this year of allowing each application to have 3 scores. For example, a score based on creativity, a score based on financial, a score based on social impact, and then those scores combined will form the total score of that application. But we're just looking at the technology to see if we can actually do that, because we've got so many nominations and so many judges. We're just trying to see if we can get the technology in place beforehand. But at the very least, you get a score from 1 to 10 for each application from each judge. And then the scores are automatically calculated via systems, and the finalists and the winners are identified from that. That normally takes a week's process just to make sure that everybody has all the scores submitted correctly. We make sure that the judges have submitted their scores correctly, and then we just make sure there's no inaccuracies in the system. Remember, if you have any questions whatsoever, just put them in the chat and we will address them in the Q&A. I'd just like to say hello to Valter, who is part of our winners alumni.
Hello, everyone.
Excellent, good to see you. Which part of the country are you in today?
I'm in London.
London, very nice. Okay. So I'm going to pay special attention to the application video, and this by far has the biggest impact on your application and how the judges view your application. You know, the quality of application videos do vary from time to time, and we found that they've only ever increased in quality over the years because people tend to now understand what we expect from application videos. Don't make them any more than 1 minute, because if you think about it, we have sometimes hundreds of applications to go through. And if your application video is a 3-minute or 4-minute video, the judges are going to speed through and they may miss something very important that you've put in it. Make the financials very clear, and it tends to work well if you stick the financials in maybe some form of a chart and just make it flash up on the screen so the judges can see it, because if they are interested in knowing more, they'll pause it and just make sure they understand it as well as they can from that video. The before and after pictures, very important. Before and after videos, even more, I suppose, well received. So showing how you initially acquired the property, you know, the condition that the property was in when you initially acquired it, compared to after you renovated it, if there was a renovation that took place. You know, if you are a trader, we understand that the property may end up just going out to the end recipient in the same condition as when you bought it, if you've done something smart in regards to trading. And also let your personality come through in the video, because, you know, when you've got 2 amazing deals that are lined up against each other and there's not much in it in regards to the financials, what's left for the judges to judge on? So if you have a fantastic backstory, you know, you've overcome some challenges, adversity of any form, or this is something about you that makes you a bit different, don't be afraid to let that shine through in your application videos, because from experience, watching how the judges view that sort of material, it always seems to have a positive impact. Okay, so very important. If you are going to put in the effort of going through this nomination process and filling in these applications, which I know they do take time. This is not a fast process, because actually what you'd be winning if you do go on to win is a big deal. We'd like you to attend the actual event if you are going to go through this process, because it makes sense that if you do end up winning one of our awards, that you're there to receive it and get all of the fame and glory that goes alongside it, with you being on centre stage in a room full of 1,000 property investors. We have sold out the pre-release tickets, and a number of you who I can see on the screen have already reserved your tickets in the tables. We're in the early bird phase right now. You can still get those early bird tickets online. I believe we have a maximum of 300 early bird tickets available, and I know that there was still some left last time I checked. Then after that, we go into the final stage, which is basically the regular price tickets, which I believe are roughly about £100 or so more than you would get in the early bird. So if you want to secure your early bird tickets, do reach out to Sophie or just go online. I know a number of you already done it, so if you've already done it, no need to be too concerned. I would always say that the feedback we get is, how do we know how many tickets to get? Because if we're going to become finalists, we'd like to order more tickets. If we're not going to be finalists, then maybe we just want to order 2 or 3 tickets. I would say at least secure the tickets for yourself and your partners if you know you're definitely going to be there. Then if you decide that after becoming a finalist that you want to have a table or 2, you can always get in contact with Sophie and she can see what she can do. Sophie has asked me to go into detail about pricing, but I'm not going to do that on this webinar. Anyone who wants to speak about tickets can just reach out to us. I believe we've all been in communication with Sophie or myself, so you can just do it that way. So now we are at a very important part, which is words from our winners. And we have had some fantastic winners over the years. You know, whenever I see something on LinkedIn or something on YouTube and it's one of our winners displayed, watching the progress or the progression from when they won the awards to where they are now, it always makes me smile. And this is what keeps me motivated, actually, because year after year, people say, Cyril, why do you spend so much time on the awards? You know, you've got your day-to-day business, you've got your investments, etc. Why do you do this? Well, actually, it keeps me inspired. I find it very, very enjoyable to watch the journeys of these winners. And for those winners who are on the screen right now, who I've had conversations with, who we've been to events together, who I've tried to support as much as possible, you will know that it's a genuine will for me to want you to succeed, because in our industry, there are just not enough good news stories. You know, everywhere you look, we are being hammered. And if we can't stand up and celebrate our own, who is going to celebrate us? So at this point, in no particular order, I can see quite a few winners on the screen. I'm going to say, Emma, do you want to lead by just give us some information in regards to how the awards has affected your investment career, and what advice would you give to nominees looking back at what you went through when you became a winner?
Yeah, I think for me, the awards have just absolutely accelerated what I do. You know, I recently basically increased my level of investment. I've now raised over 2 million, and I probably would say about 800 grand of that has actually come from the awards or winning the awards itself. So that's been absolutely fantastic. I've recently bought a street as well, and I think, you know, with that, again, you know, my social media.
Sorry, Emma, I need to just make sure. Sometimes people, did you just say you bought a street?
Yeah, I bought a street.
We're not talking Monopoly, are we?
No, but yeah, I have just bought a street. Yeah. A post-auction purchase, actually. So yeah, but yeah, it's just gone absolutely crazy, to be quite honest. On my side, you know, my social media is constantly blowing up. I'm constantly getting asked to speak at events up and down the country, you know, and just be on podcasts that I never thought I would actually be on. So, you know, my advice to anybody putting their you know, award submission in for this year, you know, make sure it's professional as what it possibly can be. Make sure your numbers are accurate, and make sure your pictures and your video is really, really slick.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Emma. And I'm looking forward to hearing more about your street purchase in the not so distant future.
Thank you. It's not currently on social media, but it will be soon.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so thank you. Sam, do you want to go ahead?
Sure. First of all, it's great to see so many familiar faces in the room. Volta, amazing mentor, and different one, Umesh, Greg. So yeah, absolutely amazing to see you all in here. Honestly, the award ceremony last year was absolutely brilliant. You know, being in a room full of such incredible people is it's pretty remarkable, and then to be able to call yourself a winner is just fantastic. And it's more than just the night. The whole year is then crammed full of different events you get to attend. The credibility that you get from it is absolutely amazing. That's what's really set us up this year. You know, like Emma, we've raised over 1.5 million this year, which you never think is possible when you're getting started on your journey. But it really, really is. It just enables you then to push forward, you know, continue to purchase, continue to develop out, and yeah, be around really good people who want to support you and help you grow on that journey along your way. So exactly what Emma said, make sure when you're doing your application, fill it out really accurately, you know, make sure your video is amazing, get a videographer on board, get a photographer on board, put everything into it. As when you do win, the blow up you get from it is amazing. And yeah, if that's what you want to like continue to grow, it really, really helps with that growth.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sam. You know, raising 1.5 million, and for the record, we don't ask for any commission on that.
No.
That's his money. Excellent. Thank you, Sam. So Toby, do you want to go ahead, please?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, just adding to what was said previously, it's been great in terms of just profile, also just the ability to help other people. People help me on my way, and all of a sudden I find I'm invited to events. I'm at the front of the room, and I can say something that just inspires other people. And it's just nice that, you know, there's been hands outstretched to help me progress, and I've got an opportunity now and platform to help other people as well, which is just, you know, it's just a really nice additional benefit from being involved in with this organisation and win the awards, which it's been really good. But yeah, definitely great for credibility, definitely great for raising finance, and there's quite a few deals. I've done a vendor finance deal recently, and the guy checked me out on social media, and that really changed. Like, the before meeting the vendor, wasn't very interested. After, when he checked me out and went, oh, okay, I can see you know, you are something, you are for real. I'm happy to do business with you. So it really does make a difference in terms of that creativity. And on that deal, vendor finance, the guy lent me 99% of the purchase price. So you can do things that just aren't otherwise possible just by having the platform.
Yeah, and am I right in saying that you have submitted another nomination for the 2024 awards?
Yes, indeed.
Fantastic. Okay, so Valtair, now I think you're one of the few people on this call who's not a winner from last year, but a winner from about 3 or 4 years ago, isn't it?
Yes, I was the winner, I think 2020 or 2021. Yes, I was the winner, and everything changed. It was my first award, and now being very privileged to be in the finalist in the panel, and it's incredible. It's incredible how much has changed and how much my career changed because of the awards. What I try every year to nominate at least 3 to 5 people to the same award, because, you know, I want them to have the same experience I had, so to change their lives, because the credibility and you know, with this award I won another 15 different awards and being in Forbes and all of that. So, but you know, Property Investor Awards is always an award that is very dear to my heart because it was my first award. So definitely, whoever wants to you know, nominate themselves, and you know, I try to nominate as many people every year, because I think it can change your career for the better. As Emma said, as Sam said, you know, very happy to see Sam winning last year. Yeah, so.
Fantastic. Thank you, Valtair. And you've now got quite a few students who sort of you train and that sort of thing. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, I've been sending them always, you know, encourage them to I nominate them every year, 3 to 5. Last year we had 5 finalists. We were celebrating very hard. And some
I
was
saw your
one of the
table.
winners. Yes, a big table, yes.
Yes. Excellent. Okay, thank you. So I just want to make sure I've not missed any other winners who are on the call. If you are a winner and I've not announced you yet, can you just unmute yourself and let me know that you're there? Okay, excellent. I'll take that as no. So these are just some words from some of our winners. And if you do need some of these slides, I can always send them through to you. And what's nice, it's nice when I see that winners are coming back year after year, because obviously having experienced what you've experienced, to want to go through that process again, you know, and put yourself through that, it just shows me that you see the value that's been created, and we 100% will continue to support you. One of the things that we want to do moving into the future, this is not sort of in the slides, is we want to place a lot more emphasis on supporting the alumni. So that not just the winners in that previous year, but to do things that bring the alumni together, because actually you've all got a shared experience, and that shared experience is actually winning one of our awards. And that's a bespoke group of individuals now within our industry that wherever you go, you have that trophy. That trophy, once you've won for 1 year, you can take that and use that for as many years as you want wherever you go. And I've seen winners utilize these award ceremony for several years straight. You know, they keep the logos on their email signatures. It's recognizable to a lot of the lenders. But it just sets you apart because it shows that you've gone through quite a rigorous process. A rigorous process that not everybody can go through. You know, not everybody has the, I suppose, wherewithal to put themselves through that nomination process and be judged by so many industry leaders. So I just say, you know, congratulations to all of you who have been through that process, and best of luck to all of you who are going through that process. So we talked about speaking platforms. These are some familiar brands that you might know of. So a number of you who are on screen who have won the awards already will know that we are very close partners of the Property Investor Show, which is the largest property exhibition in the UK for property investors. And if you do go on to win an award, you will be able to get a speaking opportunity at the exhibition, and even potentially join our Property Investor Zone if you do have a business which you also wanting to promote. We also are very close with the Baker Street Property Meet, you know, hosted by Ranjan Bhattacharya, who you've probably seen on YouTube at some point. And he gives our winners platforms in the first 3 months of the year. So he actually dedicates 3 entire months to allowing our winners to speak at the Baker Street Property Meet, where you've got 300 plus property people. Now, I know looking around, I think Toby, Emma, you've been there. Volta, I'm quite sure you've spoken at the, yeah, and Sam, I'm quite sure you've spoken too, isn't it? So it's quite the experience, and he's got a very large YouTube presence. I think he's 60,000 YouTube followers. So you will get to benefit from that. So moving on. Our media partners, and I just saw that Richard Bowser just came on as I've literally gone onto this slide. So I'm not quite sure how you've done it. I'm not sure if it's your AI watching us, Richard, but you've tuned in at the right moment. That's right.
Sorry, guys. Hi, Cheryl, hi, Michelle, and whoever else is on. Yeah, sorry, I've unfortunately deadlines and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, I managed to get on in time. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, good to see you. I'm going to ask you to say a few words. Well, wow. Next slide. This wasn't planned. So Richard is actually the first nominated chairman of the judging panel. So he's also the longest standing judge that we have at the Property Investors Awards, and a dear friend of mine. So I'm going to ask Richard now to say a few words about the awards and about the judging process and what you expect to see from the award-winning applications. And then we can talk a little bit about what Property Investors News does with our winners.
Yeah, sure. Sorry. Yeah, obviously good timing. Yeah, obviously I've been a judge now for, I think, 10 years or whatever it is, 10, 11 years, and known Cyril for many years. And it's been, for me, you know, great to see the growth of the awards and the scale of it, and also to just watch each year standards rising, the nominations, the amount of work that goes into people's entries, never mind the project that they put together. It's the degree of professionalism that's now put into the entries, and that just reflects, you know, where the world is going. Obviously, technology allows us to do stuff now that 10 or 15 years ago we couldn't do. As a judge, it's one of the things we've commented in the last year or two is about entries being submitted with short summarized videos, which really help us. There are, I think this year, if I'm not mistaken, 50 to 60 judges that will be reviewing the various nominations in all of the categories. So there's an awful lot of, you know, work has to be done over the 2 days of the judging and then the follow-up week or so to assess entries and try and, you know, make sense of what each as individuals we prioritize, because we're all, you know, we're all different. Obviously there's property investment investor awards. So the focus is on investment financial criteria and producing the best ROI. But at the same time, we're also looking for original content. We're looking for, as I do with and I'm sure Michelle does the same with the magazine. We're looking for something slightly different. Ideally, we're looking for something sometimes a little bit quirky, something original. I think from memory, Cyril, maybe at least 2 or 3 of the previous Property Development of the Year awards have gone to church conversions. So yeah, there's a lot that we have to take into account. Yeah, I mean, I think the important thing for people to continually recognise is that there's no bias in this. We're genuinely looking to award the best entries, to award originality and financial performance, and to give credit to those that put together really good projects.
Thank you very much, Richard. Thank you. So, Richard, you will be at the award ceremony in November?
Yeah, I certainly will.
And I'm sure that there'll be lots of people wanting to speak to you on the night and discuss potential future plans, etc. Richard's very good, but he is very selective. There's only so much space in these magazines, and it's more a case of the more you make your application stand out, and the more you stand out, the more of a chance you have to be published in his magazine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I've encouraged a few people, well, more than a few people over the years, to submit entries, and one of the sad, well, I've reflected on this before in the room, is with someone that didn't win an award 6 or 7 years ago, but their project and their backstory was amazing. But unfortunately, they handed over the entry submission to someone who really didn't understand what it was all about. They thought it was an award maybe for a local newspaper or something like that, and therefore their award submission really didn't reflect on what had been produced. So yeah, I would say some of you put an enormous amount of effort into putting together project schemes, and just spend a little bit of time applying the same towards your awards entry is what I would.
Very good advice. Thanks, Richard. Excellent. So moving on now to Michelle Carnes of Your Property Network, and Michelle's recently joined our judging panel. I've known Michelle for many years as well, and had a very good relationship with Your Property Network over the years. So Michelle, you're going to talk about some of the opportunities that YPN will be giving our finalists.
Yeah, absolutely. So just really excited to be working closely with you guys on this event, and we have featured many of the finalists in the YPN magazine over the years as well. But for those of you who don't know about YPN, I don't want to assume everybody does know about YPN. We've got over 9,000 members of our magazine subscribers and over 30,000 on our database. We do host daily webinars. We've got obviously the magazine. Now, YPN has been known for the magazine for 16 years. And very recently, we have expanded what YPN means to include not just the magazine, but we've got the app, we've got lots of videos and audios. We do interview lots of thousands of investors and their deals over the years as well. We've got our app, 8 years worth of content there, and we are connected with lots of specialist writers covering tax, finance, law, etc. And we've got our specialist training programs as well, which not many people know about. So we've got HMO, SA, development and design and sourcing, and we partner with lots of people in the industry. So I know that lots of finalists have come onto our training programs and actually shared their case studies with us. Again, they get to benefit from the exposure, the publicity, and all of our branding that gets locked into our training programs for not just the current members, but all of the future members as well. We do a lot on social media promoting our own members, and we like to say that our members' success is our success, just like the Property Investors Bureau, of course. The more publicity that you guys get, the more we get, and everyone wins from that. So I think the biggest part of this is about the exposure that you get, and we've had lots of people talking about the benefits of that exposure and what that translates to. in real life. So if you just go to the next slide. I think, yeah, so the opportunities, like Richard has said, the very limited space in the magazine, which we run every month. So getting people, first of all, for the finalists, we've got opportunities to be featured now with the magazine. I'm sure Richard's the same, that has to be organised very early on, but there is the opportunity for people with great projects to be featured. And as Richard said, you know, something unique is always going to appeal to us because we've been going for 16 years. So we've pretty much covered everything there is out there. But if you've got an angle, if you've got something that, you know, is a little bit different, or it's just an amazing deal, you know, a bit of a unicorn deal, then we love those as well. We've also got opportunities to be featured as a guest within our live membership. So we run those live sessions every Monday, and we invite people to come in and, you know, talk about what they're doing or about their case study. It might be within our networking meeting, and those typically we get 100 people plus on those live sessions as well. Naturally, we've got our own podcast, and we will be interviewing and inviting the finalists, sorry, the winners certainly, to all be interviewed. So anyone who wins will have the opportunity to be interviewed for the podcast. And the finalists, there's lots of you there, so we'll be looking for great case studies and, you know, just people and case studies that stand out. So it's not even just, you know, even if you don't have a particular project, perhaps you've been nominated for an award that isn't directly related to a property deal, but you've got a great story. You know, we interviewed somebody the other day, and he you know, he was a cab driver, and his transitions from, you know, being a cab driver to being in property, and his ambition to you know, to get in and reach this financial freedom goal. That was a great story. So things like that. So great stories. You don't have to have the projects on the go at the moment. And then we are also the partnership with the Property and Entrepreneur Summit. So our next one is in November 2024. So we're co-founders of that one, and we will offer 15% off tickets for anybody who is the finalist or winner for that. And anybody who wins, you will be getting a free YPN digital magazine for 1 year, and then 25% off any of our training programs as well. So that's about us, and we're really excited to just be working with everyone who's involved in the Property Investors Bureau, and just with the awards ceremony. It's an absolutely amazing opportunity for everyone involved, and just encourage you all to make the most of it. You know, this is a wave that you want to ride, and make the most of the publicity while all the focus and the spotlight is on you, and then, yeah, take it on with you. So very excited.
Thank you very much, Michelle. We're pleased to be working with you too. And I think it's important to note that, you know, both magazines are very well respected, and they both have very different flavors. So I subscribe and read to both magazines, and for you to get publicity in any one of them will be a huge achievement, really, because they both have their readerships. They're quite wide, and they're very well respected within the industry. The whole point of you applying to these awards is to gain more exposure. You know, if you have industry-leading magazines and media outlets publishing your material, it all adds to you getting more investors, you getting more deals, you expanding your businesses, you're expanding your personal brand, your business brands, etc., and maximizing that, because for 1 year at least, it's all eyes on you, and you don't want to be thinking about this stuff after you've won. You literally want to start planning for this now, because if you believe in what you're putting forwards, and you believe you potentially might become a winner, the more effort you put into planning now for this stuff, and reaching out to Richard, reaching out to Michelle, just letting them know what you do, actually, it's not going to be an absolute minefield when it happens, because things move so fast when you become a winner. All of a sudden, your inbox is full. You're trying to figure out, okay, do we have a PR pack, a marketing pack? You're getting approached by podcasts. You're getting approached by people who want you to be on their webinar. You're having to sort out a calendar. You're trying to figure out now, okay, well, actually, do I even have a presentation? What am I going to say when I go to these events? What am I going to do when I go to these events? How should I act? Have I had any training? For those of you who have been in front of a room of 300 people, you know, 400 people, you'll understand that actually, if you're not prepared to talk to the crowd, it can be quite a terrifying experience. And just as much, if you haven't put together press releases, if you haven't put together a bundle, a kit for those people who want to publish your material, then you end up running around trying to sort these things out last minute and not really maximizing the exposure. So do put some thought into it if it's something you'd like to sort of maximize. And I think that you would definitely get the benefit and the rewards for doing so and being proactive. Michelle, Richard, is that all we've got from you at the moment?
Yeah,
I think that's all from us.
Yeah, just reinforcing what Cyril's just said. I mean, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Now go ahead, Richard.
Sorry, yeah, I was just going to say, you know, thinking it through in advance. There's an acronym about PPPPPPP, which I won't quote, but probably most of you will know what I'm talking about. So prepare early, and you'll reap the benefit.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So here's the Q&A session. Now, if you have questions which you don't want to ask publicly, you can always send us an email, but you've got the chance now just to put your hand up and ask any question to any of the winners or the judges that are on here, and myself too. Any questions whatsoever. If there's no questions, I take it that we have been very concise and we've given you all the information that you need to go and create your award-winning applications. So I can't see any questions in the chat. Okay, I can see a question which is from Mark Powell, and it says, when will the finalist names be released? So the judging days take place on the 12th and the 13th of September, and the finalists are normally released within 3 weeks of that date. Excellent.
Thank you.
So say that again, please.
I was just saying thanks.
Oh, excellent. Okay, that's okay. So how many judges for each category? Literally, if 50 judges show up to one of the judging day, then those 50 judges will all cast a vote for that particular category. So we don't restrict the amount of judges. So what happens is judges have to come to one day, but they have the opportunity to come to both days. We are realizing now that most judges want to come to both days, which is actually, it's proven to be a bit of a problem, because we used to be able to host it in a luxury office somewhere where we've got a table for 12 to 20 judges, and you know, the office, it might be a very large law firm or some sort of finance company. They'll provide food for our members too, our judges, and it'll be a lovely day. Now going to an office in central London saying we need an office that can take 60 judges and cater for them, it's going to be quite a challenge. We might have to resort back to the Holiday Inn in Hull. But
Cyril, you still got me on?
Yes, I've got you on.
I can remember the very first one up in Harrow. It wasn't the most salubrious location, was it?
No, but we do need to find a solution to the amount of judges we have now and what we want to cater for. So that was from Toby Spanier. Toby, does that answer that question? Excellent. And we've got a question from Money Road Properties.
Sumesh. Hi.
Sumesh,
hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Very well, you?
I can hear you speaking. Where are you?
Yeah, so my question I put in, but effectively I was given the date of 31st of July as the final application, which I've submitted. How do I take it back and just revise it?
Okay, so the good thing is you can always just go back with the same application, right? And just if you make changes, you can do that up to the 31st.
Perfect, thank you.
Good man.
Hi, Umesh.
Hey, Richard, you right?
Yeah, I'm fine, mate. Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think we've come to the end of the questions that are in the chat. And time-wise, how are we looking? Wow, 4 minutes to go. Are we going to end perfectly on time? Oh, wow. One thing I do need to do is take a group picture, but looking at the screen, I believe I can only see 9 or 10 people at the same time. Okay, I've now got 12 or 13 people. We'll take a picture of what we can do. Let's have a look here. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing now. Excellent. And for those of you on screen now, Bubbles Note Taker. How do I move Bubbles Note Taker off the screen so I can let an actual person see it?
Now you're asking. That's mine, I think, Cyril.
Is that yours? Can you
it's just auto. That's the problem with it. Let me just. I don't know. Let me just.
Okay, it's fine. If we can't do it, then it's fine. I'll just take it with it on the screen, but
yeah, take it off.
Another person an opportunity. Okay, so I am now just loading it up. Let me just see if I can move it. Okay. Yep. No, you can't move it. That's fine. Bubbles Note Taker will stay. And we're going to take a picture of the chat. So put on your best smiles, best thumbs up. Okay, Charlie, you just made it in the nick of time. Not sure how you managed to do that, but okay, so it's a 3, 2, 1. Big smiles. Fantastic. So all that's left for me to say is, again, the very best of luck with your applications. Any questions whatsoever, please do reach out to Sophie. Thank you very much to all of the winners and judges that were here today to depart your knowledge on our this year's nominees, and embrace the experience. It's a once in a lifetime experience if you don't go and submit year after year, and just embrace it. There's a lot to be gathered and a lot to be achieved in winning these nominations, winning these awards. And reach out to the other winners if you need to as well, because they're people who they've been through that journey and they are willing to depart their knowledge on you in regards to the applications. If there's anything that you're not sure about, or you feel a bit apprehensive about something, do reach out to the winners too. Best of luck, and we shall see you on the 30th of November.